The Week 13 recap and Monday Night Football Bomb edition of the Bottom Line Bombs is brought to you by Sports Gaming Podcast Network. Is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. It's on the Sports Gaming Podcast Network, but you know that. Promo code BOMBS gets you 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sports book available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. Also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football in the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And with that, we start the show on a new week. Here and we go. I said we go. Yes, welcome to the Bottom Line. Let me bomb it again. Wow, just making sure it all works. To the Bottom Line Bombs, I am your host, the Laddie Daddy, the Deli Llama, the Deli Roll, Scumbagger Vance, the Bet Detective, the Man in the Box. CJ Sullivan coming to you live Monday, December 2nd. It's December. Thanksgiving just passed and now right into December. No waiting. Usually be a little buffer down, a little buffer the last couple of November days, not this weekend. Nope, right at it. December, like it or not. Christmas time. Good God. Coming live from Eagle Rock, California. Start up a new week here, broadcasting live around 1:20. We had to go just a little late. Doesn't matter. I don't know why I explain it. Had to go a little later today because the main guys, Sean and Ryan, back doing some college basketball show because it's feast week because they have college basketball around the clock right now. So I had to get that in. But we're here. We're doing Bottom Line Bombs. Been an amazing weekend, so there's a lot to talk about. We're going to recap the NFL Week 13. I got to recap the Thanksgiving games, of course. Thanksgiving itself. There's a Man in a Box segment. There's Monday Night Football tonight. I have a new soundboard that I haven't really loaded up yet, even though I promised I would. It's already giving me complications. I don't like it. But we do have this Monday Night Football.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some football?
That's the only thing I've learned on it so far. So that's all we're going to hear is Farley doing Hank Williams Jr., the greatest there is. Anyway, Virgil, welcome to the chat room, says, what a freaking weekend. Shit has hit the fan. LFG, let's get them. It has. Things are going topsy-turvy. If you're listening on X, I appreciate it. But why don't you come on over to the YouTube so you can join Virgil and everyone else in the chat room. You can engage me. You can enrage me. You can disengage me. I don't understand. I didn't know what word I was going to go with there, so I went with no word. No word that made any sense. But anyway, yeah, it was a good Thanksgiving. Hope you had a good turkey day, as they say, and not talk. For then you got your leftovers, a whole situation. I myself did not have any Thanksgiving food. No plate, no nothing. Not a thing. Feel bad for me, huh? And you shouldn't, because I just had to announce that there's a reason why. Is because I am let's just say I'm a better person than a lot of people out here. Than a lot of degenerates? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying sometimes I amaze myself of what a good person I am. On Thanksgiving, I volunteered. I did something giving, as they say. I went down to the Laugh Factory in downtown Hollywood. Every year they have all kinds of, they give out meals to the homeless or needy or whatever. They put on a show for them. And I decided, you know what? To be honest with you, I just didn't want to drive out to Santa Clarita for a Friendsgiving. I can do this for an hour or two. And it was turned out to be okay. Not bad at all. And I got to pick a couple pictures for Instagram. I made people pose. And I got to brag that I'm a better person than a lot of people. And that's all that matters during the holidays is a moral superiority. And that's what you get when you volunteer. It's a great, great feeling. Helping others? Sure, I guess that's good too. But it's not as good as how good you feel when you know you're better than other people and you can post pictures about it. That's what it's all about. That's what Thanksgiving and Christmas and the holiday spirit's all about. Plus, what a great way to get out of a Friendsgiving or any kind of obligation. I mean, this was better than having a positive COVID test a couple years ago. Remember you could say that? Sorry, tested positive for COVID, can't come to your party. That was the best. Now, me, I was just saying, oh, man, I would love to come, but my volunteering is running a little late. Yeah, no, I'm volunteering. I'm down to, well, not at the shelter. No, I'm at a comedy club, but still, I'm serving dishes. I am picking up plates. I'm really being a great citizen right now. So, yeah, sorry if I can't come over and bring your goddamn cream spinach. That was another thing too. I ran my mouth and said I was going to bring cream spinach, and that became a disaster. I was like, what am I doing? Then the day came, like, I can't bring cream spinach. What? Why did I say I can make cream spinach? I can't make cream spinach. I know I like cream spinach. That's why I said, hey, does anyone suggest any sides they can bring? Yeah, how about cream spinach? Has anyone brought that yet? No. Oh, well, I'll bring that because I like it. And that's when I realized the difference between liking a side dish and making a side dish is very different. Yeah, I'll eat cream spinach. I don't want to make cream spinach. So instead, I went and gave myself up and volunteered. Anyway, as Virgil said, that's one hell of a cover there for Thanksgiving you really don't want to go to. It was. It's impenetrable. It's an incredible line to put out there. Like, make sure you announce it to the rest of the Thanksgiving, too. All the family and friends over there that CJ's volunteering and it's running late. Okay? So he's not going to be able to make it. Because he's being an incredible person. Even though I was not, but it was still fun. It was great. And to be honest with you, that Cowboys-Giants game got me to walk out. Like, I got to go do something with my life. This is crazy. What am I doing? That Cowboys-Giants game on Thanksgiving, that was like, you had to explain to your family what gambling was all about if you were still watching that while everyone was eating dinner. That was made me like, I got to get out of here. I got to do something positive. Or I mean, come on, Drew Lock. Come on, Giants. Can you get one stupid win versus Dallas? Ugh. Made me want to be a better citizen that game. And I'm not sure if I am, but I do know I'm going to brag about like I am. That's for sure. Stevie Elridge says, just a heads up, TGI Friday spinach artichoke dip. Can't lose. You know what, Steve? You're right about that. And there's this girl who has an amazing cream spinach recipe. She's known for it among our friends' circle. So I went to her. I go, what's this secret family Italian cream spinach recipe you got here, And then she gave me she gave me the real inside info. It's called Stouffer's, and you just put some Parmesan on top of that, and they think you made it. So that's a good way. That is a good way to go. So that's not wrong. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I didn't want to drive out to Santa Clarita. God bless that. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that Friendsgiving. God bless those people and all that. Eric Acosta, actually, our Denver Bronco insider, who's also a C-Gener in the chat room a lot of time. He hosted it. God bless him for doing it. But yeah, that's just what the situation was. He understands. I got to talk from it. Anyway, all right. So that was Thanksgiving. Let me see. The show's already getting away from me a little bit. Don't forget the SGPN app. It's completely free. If you have easy access to all our shows and all our picks pages, free wherever you get your app. So promo. That's my promo for the SGPN app. And I recommend everyone get the SGPN app. Especially my friends who don't listen to my show, who like to text me 5 minutes before the game. Hey, what are the picks? Give me your picks. What's the picks for today? How to make money? How about you listen to my fucking content? I'm only slicing up shows and cuts and clips and everything all day, every day during the week. Then they want to call me up half hour before game time. Well, download the SGPN app, asshole. Actually, this week was great because I did the VSiN show with Sean Green because Ryan Kramer was having his darkness retreat or whatever he does over Thanksgiving. So I subbed in for him. I was appreciative of it. Great time. They do that 3-hour show at VSiN, usually in Vegas, but over Thanksgiving they did it here in the studio. So I came in and I co-hosted with Sean. It was great. Appreciate them having me in there, sub in. I was not trying to take Kramer's place at all. I'm not trying to Wally Pip him. They have a great chemistry. I love their show. But, I filled in. But what made it great is, so I had all the graphics from the VSiN guys back in Vegas. So they made up all these graphics for all my picks. It looked great, So when people texted me, hey, what's your picks? I could just, cut and paste, copy and paste that without having to fucking reply to them. And it looks legit. And it was legit. It did pretty good, actually. That was funny, that Friday night show. And if you want to get the VSiN app, I recommend that too. You can watch replays there for free, watch live for free. You can still watch that show. People love reaching out to me to tell me they can't watch the show. I'm like, hey, I'm hosting. Usually I just do a ladder segment on Friday night. I'm hosting the whole show, all 3 hours, co-hosting it with Sean Green. I just put that out there as a post. People like replying to the post and saying they can't watch it. Okay, great. Yeah, just to let you know I'm working that night. I can't watch it. Normally I would, but I can't. All right. Well, then, you know what? We'll stop the show then. I won't do it if you can't. If you can't watch it, then I'm not doing it. You don't have to tell me you're not watching. I don't need that update. If you can't watch it, okay, I understand. Life happens, no problem. Or if you don't, or if you can have the opportunity to watch it and you don't want to, I still understand that. I'm not going to judge you on that. I'm just throwing it out there because that's how I have to promote my own show. I don't need your response telling me you're not going to watch it because you can, whatever. I mean, whatever. I understand. People mean good things. It's just funny to me. Anyway, what else happened at VSiN? I came in with a lot of paper in that show. That was for sure. I brought in like 60 pieces of paper. Yeah, right here. I have my clipboard here. You show here my med box there. I had thrown on stationery, thick paper from Hardy Production, Hardy Realty that my sister gave me. But what's fun about watching Thanksgiving by myself? I didn't even get out of the house till like 3:00. So it was perfect. I got to watch all that Bears-Lions game, which I never would have done if I was moving around, bringing sides and family to family and house to house. You don't get to do that. You don't get to watch the game locked in on Thanksgiving when you're doing that bullshit. You got to talk to some aunt or uncle who's coming in there. I'll ask you how your life's going. My life's going terrible, Aunt Joyce. I don't want to talk about it. All right. I'm a man in a box screaming about fucking Drew Lock. All right. My life's not good, Aunt Joyce. Let me watch this game. I have the Bears plus 10.5. The Lions have got 275 yards before the Bears even got a first down, okay? Life's not good. Until Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled the ball. Then the thing started turning around. It was about to be 23-0. Gibbs fumbled the ball, and then the Bears came back, and he almost won the game. And then we saw one of the greatest disaster endings in Bears history with Matt Eberflus. Basically, he messed that up so bad on Thanksgiving and ruined Chicago Bears fans' Thanksgiving so badly, they had to fire him the next day for his own sake. They're like, Matt, listen, this is for everyone's good. You don't want to be back out there. Hell, we'll even let you do the morning press conference, give us a State of the Union on the Bears. But yeah, you're fired immediately after what you've just done. Not to bring back an old story, but it was an amazing game where they're down 3. They're coming back. Caleb Williams gets sacked on a quarterback rush call with 35 seconds ago, and then they have a timeout. He doesn't use it. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone went over. People are blaming Caleb, too. All right, you can blame Caleb for like 5% of that, but he's a rookie quarterback. Even if it was called the timeout. What are you doing? But now he has that timeout to go with it. That was a severance package. All right, Eberflus, you're fired. And you know what you got to keep from the office? The stapler and that timeout you didn't use. You get to keep that. So how you like that? Now the Bears coaching search begins. Thomas Bryant is the intern coach. My man Xavier Lamont, who was my Chicago Bears insider preseason, if you remember him, XL. He is a big fan of Thomas Bryant, comes from historically black college, Thomas Bryant. And he makes a good point. People are just trying to overlook him, and that's what black coaches do. They get overlooked for that. Like, well, he's just the intern. But why wouldn't he be a candidate to be the head coaching job? Just because you wanted Ben Johnson, you screwed that up. Harbaugh, you screwed that up. You screwed all that up. I'm all for giving Thomas Bryant a chance. His knock on him was, last year he was a play caller for the Carolina Panthers. Okay. But that was a disastrous situation with Frank Reich and all there and Bryce Young. And now it's good to see Bryce Young bounce back now. But I mean, come on, you can't blame Brian for that. They only gave him, and that was, and I have to admit, when they say that black coaches don't get the same opportunities as white head coaches or same opportunities to fail, you can look at Thomas Bryant and say, I think they got a point there. They gave him the Carolina, mid-season last year, Frank Reich gave him the play calling duties, like when they were 0-11 or whatever. Like, okay, I want to turn it over to Thomas Bryant, see what he can do. And he didn't do anything in 2 games. They took it back from him. What? Frank Reich's like, I didn't really mean that. I'm going to take those play calls back. Who does that? That seemed like a raw deal. So, and it's funny if you watch Brian do his press conference, and the Bears have looked better since they fired Waldron, offensive coordinator, and let Brian call plays, and now he's an intern coach. His press conference today, I mean, he was saying every cliche and motivational poster thing you can say. He was like auditioning for a movie role of a head coach. So I talk about the 3 abilities: capability, liability, reliability. I talk about, violence. It's about a violent kid. Like everything he did about it was amazing. All motivational quotes. Okay, calm it down, Brian. We get you. We'll put your hats in the ring. All right. Dominic the Donkey in the chat room. I know I have your thumb.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
He says you gotta love that the Bears front office made her do a press conference while they fired him. It really was incredible. It really was. Here, give a state of the union of the team. Don't mention yourself though. We'll handle that part, Matt. Don't worry about that. What should I say when they ask me about my job? Don't say to be determined. You know what? We'll answer those questions. You just talk about how we're shaping up for San Francisco next week. Oh man! All right. Anyway, so that was the Bears-Lions game that I got to watch all of it, and it was incredible. It was everything you could hope for. Everyone in Survivor, they got by the skin of their teeth with that one, so they got to be happy for that. All right. Let me tell you about Underdog real quick here. Let me get into, and then we'll get into all the recapping and the Monday Night Football bombs for tonight. But first, let me tell you about Underdog. It's a great way to play fantasy football for real money. It's Feast Week. And we got profit boost, discount tokens, gimme picks, and much more. Underdog Pick'em is one of the biggest menus for all of sports. NFL, college football, basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, everything. You can now use specials and boosts on flex entries. Sign up with promo code BOMBS to claim your special pick. First time deposit up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code BOMBS. I'll give you an Underdog play, and I'll give you a game for a night. But first, I got to tell you about Rebet as well. Rebet, let me turn that off. Did I not get a Rebet graphic? No, I did not. Shoot. I had all day to prepare this morning, and I forgot to put a Rebet graphic up. So I'll just talk to you one-on-one about this. How about that? We're brought to you by Rebet. It's a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities. Available on Rebet. Easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sportsbooks may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store. Use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. Now we're back. I say I had all day to prepare a graphic for Rebet because I came into the office early here in the studio. Usually on Mondays, I'll do stuff at home first, get some things done, and then I'll prepare the show at home, whatever. The upload, I don't have to take you through all the boring parts. But, I get some work done at home. And then I come in here a little before and get ready and fire and get right into the microphone, so I got to bring that energy. Bring that paper and passion energy from the man in the box. But today, I'd say around 7:45 in the morning, there was a full-on construction job going on right next to, 8 feet away from my window. I mean, what do I live in the Bronx here? And I'm screaming at my window, "Hey, asshole, it's not even 8 a.m. What are we doing here?" No, sorry, I'm just paid to get here. Well, who the fuck's paying you? Tell me who's paying you. I want to go to his house. Is his house like this? This was crazy. And I'm not even talking leaf blowing, which is huge in LA. Leaf blowing and lawn maintenance. This was just some straight up Caterpillar construction noises, machines I've never even heard. I was like just rattling my building. I'm like, well, okay, I can't get anything done here. So I came into the office and, here I am, still screaming about things. What else happened? That's enough for Thanksgiving, right? We wrap that up. Let's get into Monday Night Football. Like I said, we got it tonight happening here. Big game between Denver and Cleveland. Play that. Wow, what the heck? Come on, play that.
Are you ready for some football?
Good Lord. Oh, the Patriots and the Vikings coming over tonight. Eagles and the Bears coming over tonight. That was the Chris Farley 3 weeks before he died, hosting Saturday Night Live, doing the Hank Williams Jr. Once I get the soundboard up and running, this show is really going to be popping. But as of now, let's talk Denver, Cleveland. Denver -6, totals 41.5. If you watched the VSiN show Friday night, and it's okay if you did not, you'll know that Denver Broncos are one of my best bets. Let's bomb it. I'll get right to it. -6. It's one of my contest picks, which we did not do well again. I'll go over the contest picks I gave. That doesn't matter because the new quarter starts. But Denver Broncos -6. There's only one problem with this game tonight. I don't see an angle where I could back Cleveland, and that scares me. I'm like, how could you possibly back Cleveland in this game? You have Denver Broncos who are playing very good football. They're a very good team. Their defense is great. Bo Nix keeps getting better and better. Him and Sean Payton are in the same page. Loving Cortland Sutton, Devon Vele. Whoa. Loving him. Their running back situation's a mess, but only because they just played a hot hand and you can't predict it for betting-wise, as far as team-wise goes. But they're good. If they were going to lose a game, it was supposed to be last week at the Raiders. They're not losing this game. Then you have the Browns, who, listen, as hilarious as James Winston is, and he is hilarious. He does those metaphors that have nothing to do with football. He answers questions that is not being asked, but somehow it makes sense. Like, what do you think I got to do to beat the Steelers? Like, the horses are prepared for battle, but the Lord decides the victor. What? I was talking about your third down efficiency. Point is, they look like a team that quit 2 weeks ago at New Orleans, even though Winston threw for like 400 yards and they won a turnover battle, and then somehow they got blown out. Then they had a short week and they beat the Steelers in the snow on Thursday night. And it was their Super Bowl. The town was shirts off. Place was going nuts. It was great. And that was their moment. And Winston, he had his cinematic moment with NFL Films where he dives in the end zone and the flurries are coming down. But now they're going to Denver. And even though they've had 10 days off, they have to go back to being the old Browns. This has to be well, now you're going to be back to what you've been all year, right? You're not going to keep doing that. Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to keep doing that. Although it would be funny if Winston does carry the Browns to the playoffs, kind of like Flacco did last year. Like if every year the Browns just kept getting some kind of new charismatic backup that the entire city falls in love with, other than the sexual assault quarterback that they pay all their money to. That would be a very Browns thing to do. So we got a big rivalry game, Denver Cleveland rivalry. If you're old like me and you remember the AFC Championship games with the drive and the fumble. Back-to-back years when Kevin Mack fumbled it and then John Elway had the drive. One of the most overrated rivalries, by the way. It was a very AFC 80s rivalry. It was a good rivalry for Browns fans and Bronco fans. And it led to the curse of the Browns fans and all that stuff, and how doomed they are, which I get. And listen, I love Cleveland Brown fans. They're awesome. You can't Cleveland fans in general, you Indians, Guardians, whatever, you can't blame them for anything because they've suffered a long time and they keep suffering. They keep showing up and they're great. Last week's game versus Pittsburgh was awesome. Just with the Browns fans, they're just there for that experience. That being said, I don't want to hear their sad tales about losing to Denver in the AFC Championship game. You should be happy you lost those games with those memorable versions of the drive and the fumble and things like that. Because if you would have won and gone to the Super Bowl, you would have gotten blown out by 50 points against the Niners and Redskins and whoever else was playing then. No one would have remembered or cared that Bernie Kosar beat Elway. Those teams were terrible. So be happy you had a story. That's what I'm trying to say. You didn't want to lose by 60 to Joe Montana because you would have. Anyway, are there any props to play? No, I love Broncos -6. Winston, he's careless with the football as it is. So against this Broncos defense that turns it over a lot, that's going to be a lot of trouble. Let me see what Winston interception prop is. I bet that's huge. Huge number. I can't imagine that's -200. You can't play that. That's pretty heavy. But I think he will throw an interception. There is a revenge angle. There's one angle Cleveland does have in its favor. That's the Jerry Jeudy revenge angle. If you like his prop. Let's see what his prop is. Now, Cedric Tillman not playing, so Jeudy will be the number. And Jeudy has been putting up good numbers. And this is a true revenge game. A lot of times revenge games are like, Geno Smith. Well, Geno Smith played for 8 teams. Jerry Jeudy was drafted by Denver and literally given up on. There's a reason he didn't play well, but 61.5 yards, it's very doable, especially when you have Winston. He's going to throw the ball. He doesn't care. So I like Jeudy over 61.5 yards, even though Surtain will probably be on him. But more importantly, I like Devon Vele. 41.5 yards. He's been my guy. He's the guy that Bo Nix likes. Yeah, he likes Sutton too. But you know why he likes Vele? They're both rookies and they're both old as hell. Devon Vele is like 26 years old because he went to Utah. They have those. They do those Mormon pilgrimages or whatever, and they go fucking mission things, and they're going for 4 years. They come back with full families. Anyway, Vele's good. Nix likes him. Nix is like 25. Vele's 26. They've been hooking up. So 41.5 yards, I'll bomb that. Jerry Jeudy, 61.5, we'll bomb that. And why not take Bo Nix over 220 passing yards? It's kind of I don't understand what they need to see out of Bo Nix. He's not that same guy as he was in the beginning of the season when he was skipping balls at people's ankles. I like Bo Nix. Not as much as Sean Green likes Bo Nix, but I think he should look good today. 225 passing yards I'm looking at for over-under. That should be no problem to get. Let's get that. And just like I said, we are hammering the Broncos -6 tonight. I think it should be no problem. It just scares. The only thing that scares me is how much I like Denver Broncos. So we'll get into that because I gave out my Circuit Millions contest. That did not do too well. I need the Broncos to go 2-3. I went 1-3 yesterday. The only win being the Buffalo Bills, who won easily over San Francisco at a -7, even though it went off at 6 because Purdy came back. It's so funny how these cold teams in the snow, you would think these cold teams in the snow, like, come on, are professional football players. How they got to be able to handle it. But no, they really can't. Miami on Thanksgiving night got crushed by Green Bay, literally only because of the cold. I mean, the coach is shivering. As Eric Joe tweeted out, goes, them boys look cold out there. Yeah, it's cold. That's why they get the hell out of there as soon as the season's over with. You think Romeo Dobbs is living in Wisconsin during the offseason? No, he's getting the hell out of there. But he's regular for the season. So the Dolphins looked awful in the cold. And the Niners the Niners, good Lord. They're fumbling on the one, or, their ACLs are getting torn out. Christian McCaffrey's limbs are just falling out of his body. They were not ready they look like people in California anytime they have to go visit old family members for the holidays. They don't like it. It's just a smorgasbord of winter clothes. I got this scarf wrapped around my forearm and this old 80s high school winter jacket I got tied on. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't know. How do you people live like this? So the Bills crush it. Josh Allen with his, it's on the thumbnail. Come on with that play. Throws it to Cooper. Cooper's standing straight up. They don't blow the whistle dead. He laterals it to Allen, who dives and does a snow angel. We get it, Josh Allen. You're winning the MVP. You don't have to make a whole photographic scene every week now in the snow. This is ridiculous. So yeah, lock up Josh Allen MVP. Lock up Saquon Barkley Offensive Player of the Year. If you can parlay those together, do that. I don't have a book that can do that. But Josh Allen, what's so funny? Josh Allen's winning the MVP. That's happening. It's done. But his stats aren't even close to Lamar Jackson's. But what's funny about it is Lamar Jackson's stats last year weren't that good. He shouldn't have won the MVP. Well, I'm not saying he shouldn't have won, but there weren't a lot of great candidates. But he won some big-time TV games. He beat that game versus Brock Purdy where everyone just hated Brock Purdy. It's like, fine, thank God. Thank God we don't have to give this to Brock Purdy. Lamar, here's your trophy. So he was narrative last year, and this year Allen's narrative. So you really can't complain about it if you're a Lamar Jackson fan. Especially since they lost to the Birds yesterday. Go Birds! It was funny, that Eagles-Ravens game yesterday, which was it was a good game. I wouldn't say it was a great game. Great game for Eagle fans. I'm an Eagle fan. I enjoyed that. They were kind of outplayed a bit. Tucker, kind of sad watching Tucker miss these kicks now. I didn't mind it since it was going against the Eagles yesterday, but as a legend, like, yeesh, Tucker, let's, maybe it's time we have a talk, buddy. You just can't, we can't have you out there. People are watching this, you know that? Anyway. But it was weird. That game really meant nothing. It means something. The Eagles, of course, want that 1 seed. The Lions are still in there. The Vikings are... Nobody's talking about these Vikings. They're like 10-2. We just want them to go away, and they won't. But if they become the 1 seed, God, that would not look good for football. It is weird when you look at the top 3 teams in the NFC, Detroit, Philly, and Minnesota. And their quarterbacks are Goff, Sam Darnold, and Jalen Hurts. And I like Jalen Hurts, but it's just not the same type as Mahomes, Josh Allen, and who the hell is number 3? I don't know. Joe Burrow. Not Burrow, but, Joe Burrow, speaking of which. You hear people giving him flack for not winning and like it's his fault. I've always said that with quarterback, we put way too much win-loss on quarterbacks. It's insane. And Shan Sharp likes burying him, saying no one gets as much credit for losing a Super Bowl than Joe Burrow. How about Dan Marino? Does Dan Marino not get that credit? Dan Marino might be the greatest quarterback of all time, but he never won a Super Bowl. That's who Joe Burrow is slowly becoming. I love Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow because he talks and acts like the season is 38 games long. After every loss, he's just not fazed. What do you think now, Joe? You guys are 2-12. Plenty of time. What's the rush? We'll get it together. Don't worry about it. I'm Joe Cool. Yeah, Joe, it's December, buddy. You want to start winning? Nah, we'll think about it. I don't know. That's an idea we've thought of. Maybe. Maybe we'll win. Maybe not. Who knows? Might not do it at all. Anyway. I got to take a quick break. And when we get back, I'll talk about the 3 losses, NFL Week 13, the big stories, and of course, a man in a box. But first, let me tell you about my bookie. My bookie. Wherever I bet, he bets. My bookie, and me and you. Brought to you by Bookie.ag. It's been running on SGPN for years. Check out their new and improved website, great on mobile. Plus props for every game in live, deal, or casino. Even new early cash out options. Something I wish I took last night on the under in the Buffalo game. Highlight a bet I like on my bookie? Sure, ad read, I will. I love Denver -6 tonight. A little too much. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit, match up to $1,000, plus a $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Also brought to you by Rhythm. The rhythm's gonna bet ya. The rhythm's gonna bet you. Rhythm's gonna bet you with props. It's our proud partner, the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to provide custom predictive betting models in seconds. Getting predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model like Weird Science, one of the top performing models on a leaderboard, or have Rhythm build a model for you. NFL picks, props, college football, basketball, NBA, and Rhythm has it all. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And we're back here on the Bottom Line Bombs. I am your host, CJ Sullivan, Scumbagger Vance, the Laddie Daddy, the Bombino, the Deli Llama, Deli Roll, the man in the box. And let's see what Rhythm does like here for you. Absolutely. Let's see what Rhythm likes for you on tonight game. I'll give you a Rhythm play. They like Jameis Winston under 9.5 rushing yards. I like that. It's a nice little play. And they like Devon Vele over 30.5 receiving yards. Well, of course, I already told you like that. See, me and the bots, we get along. We get along together. Okay. And we have more people in the chat room. Virgil says Barkley -500 offensive MVP. Yeah, I mean, that's offensive player of the year, I imagine. That's just a lock. Long shot. Welcome to the chat. He says there are places I can find my picks and props written down anywhere. There sure is, long shot. Because he misses the show, but he likes the angles. I like that. Well, of course, on the SGPN app, you can find all the shows on the SGPN app. So I'd recommend you downloading that. I'll have all my picks on there. Sometimes I post them on the X feed, but no, they'll all be on the app with all my picks and on there and then in the description. So there it is. Yeah, this weekend was a little different because of the holiday weekend. I did the Thanksgiving games and then the Circa Millions, which you could always track me to. I'm Bet Detective on the Circa Millions standings there. It has all my picks and standings, all documented. Trust me, it's a bloodbath so far. We're not doing well. Like I said, we hit Buffalo. We lost Atlanta. We lost the Jets. And we lost Tennessee. Those are my 3 losses yesterday. Tennessee was one of those games where like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, oh, this was a mistake. I was confident in them all week, you know. Oh, they're going this way. Washington's going that way. And then 5 minutes into, you're like, whoop, I got hoodwinked on that one. Okay. I was a little peed from the Survivor thing. I was, because Tennessee knocked me out of Survivor last week. That's why I was hoping for Kansas City to lose to the Raiders, because I would have had Kansas City in my hypothetical torture game, exercise in pain that I'm doing, where I'm like, let's play out the Survivor. But of course, Kansas City pulls it out versus the Raiders. Why wouldn't they? Was there anything less surprising than the Chiefs pulling out another crooked win? As soon as the Raiders were driving, I'm like, well, yeah, they're not going to win, though, because this is what the Chiefs do. I don't think they're going to miss a 4th field goal. That'd be too easy. Let's do this. Let's do a play where they have a false start overturned. What? I'll give the Chiefs this, and I'll go back to my losses. But I'll give Kansas City this. They come up with creative ways to win games the way the Bears come up with creative ways to lose games. They are the opposite. They come up with different ludicrous ways to win games, and the Bears come up with ludicrous ways to lose games. Now, that being said, they're also the only team in the league that's just openly fixed. It's just crooked. But the NFL does nothing to hide it. Like, here's a ref calling in false start, blowing it dead. And then the refs get together like, yeah, we're going to switch that around and say fumble, Chiefs ball, illegal formation, game over. What? Yeah, it's fixed for the Chiefs. You didn't know that? Yeah, the head office called down and said, fix it for the Chiefs. And that's going to be an open secret. So get used to it. That's basically what they tell us. Get used to it. Why fight it? We are fixing it so the Chiefs win every game. So as long as they're upfront about it, you can't get upset, or you're certainly not surprised when it happens. It was the same thing as the Bears-Detroit game, where when it ended, everyone looked around like, is that it? Is it really over? Do we walk off the field? Good night and go home? Beat traffic? All right. If you say so. Like when the Bears ended, you're like, what? There's no more plays? Didn't they snap? Didn't the last play? Didn't they have a minute to go? All right, we'll go. Wait. The game can be over on an illegal formation? Yeah, I guess so. They called it a batch snap or something. And I've been beating the drum on this for a while, C-Generates. The illegal motion penalty on offense or illegal formation, whatever, that should be a blown dead foul. That should be just like a false start. Why is the play allowed to continue if it's not going to count? Why does the defense get a free play? That's crazy. Only an injury can happen, or a turnover, or something bad. If you really want safety, it's an illegal formation, illegal motion. Blow it dead. Just do it again. 5 yards. That's it. Blow it dead. Instead, you got slow rolled by the referees, because sometimes a good thing happens on offense. Like a week ago, when the Texans scored a touchdown, Nico Collins, like, yeah, that was a fun touchdown. Glad you guys liked it, fans. But yeah, it's not going to count. Oh, why? Was there a holding or something? No holding. No, the play went off fine. But a tackle was 6 inches back where he shouldn't have been. Some 1920s rule interpretation. Anyway. I got a little off track there. Kansas City. Dominic the Donkey says, at least I didn't tail Sean Kramer's Will Levis most passing yards bet. No, I did not. But I did try to. I was in Vegas when they put it down, and I was doing this Bottom Line Bomb show out in Radio Row. I was out there for sign-up weekend, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go make the bet. 65-1. And I was about to give $100. Like, tell me in there with that. I've told a story, and they're now in the chat room. We got a great number. They did get a great number. They beat the deli roll in his own game. They got a great number. So I was literally just about to give $100. I go, you know what? Here you go. Here's $100. Let me tail it. They kind of gave me a side roll, to be honest with you. They gave me like an eye roll, like, well, you know what? Why don't you wait till your show's over with? That's what they said. They didn't want my money be smudging their bet. They already think I'm a mush. And then they said it right to my face, basically, with their body language. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I won't get on your bet. I'll wait till my show's over. How drastically can those numbers change in an hour? Right? It's not like your suitcase bet's going to move anything. What are you possibly putting down in front of the window? Cut to an hour later, they did put a suitcase bet in there. They moved the number from 65-1 to 20-1 solely because of their bet. Oh, were they happy about that? They're bragging about how they're moving future. Now, Will Levis future numbers. They're telling Derek Stevens, the owner, the billionaire owner, hey, Derek, you better get out some more insurance for all the casinos you own, because we're about to break it with our Will Levis bet. And I, of course, couldn't get in on 20-1. So they played the long con game on me, and I waited till Will Levis knocked me out of Survivor. 3 months later. Anyway, point is, Tennessee versus Washington was a bad play. Now, my other two bets, I'll go to my grave with that should have won. And I will die with it because it's a loser's mentality. But Falcons, they outgained the Chargers by like 150, 200 yards. Kirk Cousins was just incredible. They didn't even give up an offensive touchdown. The Chargers did not play good, but Kirk Cousins was back to his old tricks again. Oh my God, with his 4 interceptions. Not just his 4 interceptions, but the way he threw them. He threw one in the end zone that needs a criminal investigation. I need to see a vision of what he saw. How is he on the take? It was 3rd and goal. He's lobbing up, and he lobbed it up there. He lobbed it up there like you are playing catch with your kid, as Adam Chernoff said this morning. Like you don't want to hurt him. When he lobbed it, I was like, oh, he must see someone so wide open in the end zone right now that he doesn't want to overthrow him. No, he saw 3 Charger defenders, and he couldn't decide which one he wanted to throw an interception to. So he thought his best tactic was to lob it up so softly that they'll fight over it and the ball will maybe drop down to the end zone. Who knows what he saw? His pick 6 he threw to the Chargers, the D-back had to like hold up and pause himself, or he would have overran it and not be able to get it all the way out. So that was crazy. Kirk Cousins needs to be put out the pasture, and so does Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers was a different situation. The Jets were up 21-7, about to go up 28-7, and then he throws a 95-yard pick 6 to a defensive tackle. There's 2 ways of looking at it. How I initially look at it, like, come on, we should be up 28-7. This is the kind of shit I'm going to lose on. To the reality is, listen, if you take the Jets, you have to take what all comes with the Jets. And that's what comes with the Jets. Yeah, the Jets might have been technically the right side, but ultimately it's the Jets. And they do shit like that. And that whole game was drunk between the Jets and Seahawks. So I can't complain. It's a loser mentality. I lost. I lost with the Falcons. I lost with the Jets. Titans was a deserved loser. But ultimately, they're all deserved losers. Virgil says he was playing that game 500. Remember, so that football in the air and all your friends fight to catch it. Yeah, exactly. Where you launch it up there. Lord of the Flies, that game's also considered. Anyway, let's skip past that. No need to talk about that because the next quarter of Circa Million starts next week. And that's when the real season, it's the final quarter. So much like Joe Burrow, I better start taking this seriously. Yeah, we got plenty of time. No, we don't. It's December. Time to get going. And we will. Let's talk about some of the big stories in the game that did not involve my picks. One of them was Jacksonville, Houston. That was fun. The Trevor Lawerence slide. Although I did put a little bit on. I liked Jacksonville plus the points, but then I went down to 3. I'm not going to talk about any of those. I did a little Houston -3. We wound up pushing. It doesn't matter. Trevor Lawerence came back. Doug Peterson came back. That was even more surprising than Trevor Lawerence, that Doug Peterson was still the coach of the Jaguars. I said it was like Milton in the movie Office Space. Like, he was actually fired years ago, but it was an accounting error, and he was still on the books. So they, kept getting paid, and he kept showing up. Doug Peterson, off the bye, came back, and everyone's like, oh, hey, Doug, I didn't know you were going to be back here. I thought you left. No? Oh, okay, sure. Oh, you have a game plan for Houston? Yeah, no, we'll listen to it. What are you thinking? You're thinking have Trevor Lawerence scramble out and then get absolutely fucking assaulted by Aziz Al-Shahir? And that's exactly what happened. If you didn't see it, it's a pretty dirty hit. What a real dirty hit. Trevor Lawerence is running. He goes to slide. Linebacker for Houston, Aziz Al-Shahir, just assaults him. He leads with that arm, and he's got like a cast on his arm or a brace, and just elbows him in the face. And Lawerence immediately goes to a paralyzed look. Did not look good. First game back. It was an obvious dirty hit. Evan Ingram jumps on him, a brawl comes out. That's what happens in football. You protect your quarterback and there's a brawl. But now you have to go on X and people have to have contrarian points of view, which is always hilarious. People are like, well, this is why the slide's dangerous. They should dive forward. All right. Can everyone just agree that's a dirty hit? And he should be suspended for a couple games. It's going to happen. Oh, this is not what football is. It's just amazing. People just have to have these opposite contrarian angles, and none of them even make sense. It doesn't matter. They don't need to. It just has to be contrarian. Mitch Moss, who I like, from the Mitch and Paul, they follow the Money Show and VSiN. I'm fans of. I enjoy them. But he had a take on Twitter or X that was just ridiculous. And I've seen other people do this take, which is the common. He starts off with, this is a contrarian take, but 20 years ago, that's not even a penalty. That's not a penalty 20 years ago. Which, first of all, you're wrong. It was a penalty 20 years ago. And he put evidence up of Tom Brady getting hit or someone who wasn't sliding. Like, they made the rule, if you're sliding, you can't touch him. That's the rule. That's why he's marked down the beginning. He starts the slide, not where he finishes it, because of this, because you can't touch him. But first of all, what an absurd argument. 20 years ago, it wasn't a penalty. 50 years ago, you were allowed to stab him. 120 years ago, Evan Ingram would have challenged Azeez Al-Shahir to a duel in the streets at high noon to defend Trevor Lawrence's family honor. This league is getting soft. I miss the days when you could shoot a man in the streets. 400 years ago, they would have tied and quartered him to the horses and drug him through downtown. This league is getting soft. What the fuck is the difference what the penalty was 20 years ago? How old was Shahir 20 years ago? 8? It's not like he grew up watching that and like he's grandfathered into this. It makes no sense. So, yes, it would have been a foul 20 years ago, first of all. It was a foul 10 years ago when Joe Flacco got crushed by Kinko Alonso. Or Kiko, I should say. I just love that take. I just love that take in general. I should get in the box for this. I realize that. Time to get in the box. Before I get too into the sliding. Now people are like, now you got Rex Ryan. Sliding is the most dangerous play. You should dive forward. They would dive forward and break their collarbones. They're quarterbacks. They're fragile. Listen, the NFL painted themselves in a corner with this by creating their sport where only 8 people on the planet can let the system run. So they need to protect them. The problem is your Patrick Mahomes who does the fake slides. The fake slide. But Trevor Lawerence wasn't going to fake slide in the middle of the field in the first quarter. Get out of here with that shit. $220 years ago, if you threw the ball backwards, they could claim you were a witch. This league's getting soft. We can't witch hunt somebody now for their with their show of hands and trick plays. You know what it reminded me of just that flawed argument of what it was 20 years ago. Remind me of what happened over college football this weekend. Which exciting college football weekend, topped with Michigan beating Ohio State. And that started off an absolute great weekend of insanity where teams would beat their rival and then plant this flag in the middle of the field. And then the other team would hate it and try to fight them. And then there was a brawl in the middle of the field of flag planting. It was great. I want nothing but flag planting and teams defending flag planting. Because then you have the announcers, you hate to see this, do you? I love to see this. This is great. It's exciting. First of all, the whole flag planting is hilarious. And the way they treat the flag, like it's a flag of war, like it's a country, like it's the American flag that you're planting at Hiroshima. You're planting a fucking Florida gate. Your flag has an alligator on it, all right? It's got an armadillo across the thing. Let's not act like, soldiers have died for this flag. But so they'll plant the flag, then the other team will rip it and throw, you don't touch my alligator flag like that. You should go to jail. So they're planting flags, they're throwing flags into the stands, they're burning, crocodile flags and Buckeye flags. If you don't want them to plant the flag, then you should beat them on the field. Then you should stop them on the field. What? How does that correlate? How does the celebrate? Hey, you don't want me to sleep with your girlfriend? Then you should have scored more points than me on the field. That's what you get when you win. You get to be a Viking. You get to pillage your land. I get to plant my flag. I get to sleep with your family. I get to kick your dog. We get your girlfriends. We get to steal anything we want, and we get to drink your whiskey. You should have beat us on the field. No, if they don't want you to plant the flag on their 50-yard line, then they should stop you from planting the flag on the 50-yard line, and that's what they did. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to plant the flag either. Fuck, it's disrespectful, obviously. You're trying to disrespect them. But I look like that's this generation where we think we have the right to disrespect someone unabashed. No one going to fight back for it. Hey, we won. I get to make a TikTok video humiliating you. What the fuck? That's not cool at all. Like that Michigan player getting interviewed during, he's like, they got to know how to lose respectfully. Just because you lost the game. No, it's not because you just lost the game or you fight. They're not fighting you because you lost the game. They're fighting you because you're trying to pull their pants down and shove a flagpole up their ass. Come on. That's a bomb. Now I feel like Jason Whitlock, where he does his truth bombs, which is hilarious. Aldrich says he was in the stadium during a bench clear once. So awesome. Need more of those. I know. It's like, what are we doing? I love when announcers tell us what we don't like to see. You hate to see that. What? Action? No, we love to see that. What we hate to see is handshakes and knees. We want to see brawls and fucking people trying to raise war flags with something that has a wildcat on it. Virgil says, all these games were great. BYU, Houston, NC State. There was incredible college football this weekend. It was. And that's what this week is for, college football. And occasional high school football. Which is why I guess the Chiefs game was on a Friday afternoon, Black Friday sale. Interesting. Because of some agreement they made not to mess with high school football like in the 50s that they still abide to. Anyways, they're trying to downplay that though too. Then you had the egg. Is it the Egg Bowl? What's the Mississippi State one? I call it the Mud Bowl because it's just dirty, just violent and dirty. But I think it's the Egg Bowl. That used to be at night. That used to be when you're blackout drunk night. That was great, but that just got too violent. Some of these rivalries are getting too violent, and I love it. More of that, please. Then do your bullshit playoff bracket. There is nothing I am less interested in than the weekly revealing of the playoff bracket in college football. Just figure it out when it's over with, and then play the game. Then I'll pay attention and play the games. I do not want any coaches politicking for what I don't care. I do not give a shit about it. Although Georgia Tech should have beat Georgia. A little upset about that. Anyway, all right, that's going to do it for the box. Let me get out of there. Thank you, everybody who tuned in for today's show here on Monday. Good luck tonight with Denver Broncos -6. Also, Bo Nix over 220. Vele over 41 yards and a little Jerry Jeudy action. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at CJ Sullivan was taken _ in between each words, or on X at CJ Sullivan _ Download the SGPN app. That's where you can find all the picks from all the show hosts, including me, the man in the box. I'm going to Florida this week, actually. So my next show on Thursday, which will be the start of the final quarter, will be remote from beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Same time, don't worry. You don't have to change anything. I'm just saying words out loud. It won't be from the studio, but I will be giving you the same exact incredible product, which is this. Don't forget, I am also better than everyone because I volunteered for the Thanksgiving by handing out turkeys and whatnot. See, Degenerate Country, let's ride, says Dominic the Donkey. You're damn right. Let's ride. Russell Wilson. Oh, Russ cooking. We gave him out in the VSiN show. I didn't know he was going to throw for 400 yards, but we gave him out to throw for the most passing yards, me and Sean Green. We did not bet it, but we did give it out. Anyway, give me a follow. Give me a thumbs up on the YouTube if you're watching it now. That helps a lot with the conglomerates and the whatnots. Other than that, yeah, it's been, I never, like I said, I need a good ending. I need to stop talking and know how to end the show, just like I need to know how to end conversations. I don't know how to end conversations. You go out like, all right, I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Wednesday. I don't know. Hey, let's make plans for lunch. What? Make plans? What are you talking about? I don't know. Just let me leave. All right, so I'll do it. We'll try to leave right now by doing this. Hold on, where is it? There it is. Goodbye.